This is a continuation of my trying to conceive, my pregnancy journey with baby number 5. Where I left off before was that there was a counselor who came into my room. She told me about a company or a place that would help pay for my daughter's funeral, whatever we decided to do, whether it was an actual funeral to have her buried or to have her cremated. And I decided to do cremation because if for some reason we decided to leave this state, there was no way that I was going to have my daughter buried here and then leave. Like, she has to be with me. So this company was very awesome enough to pay for half of the expenses. They also gave us necklaces that we could use to put her ashes in. And my sister-in-law took care of the rest. And so even though my blood pressure was high, they let me leave the hospital because I had to be home with my other children. And you know, I still was like not myself, obviously, but I had to show up for my kids. And the first night we said our prayers like we always do, and my oldest was telling me how she loved the fact that she loved hot dogs like her sister did that passed away, because that's what I would eat when I was pregnant with her. And that conversation made me get really emotional. So I said goodnight to them, went to the room and told my husband about it and started crying. And then I went to sleep and woke up the next morning. My father was still here. I was just like out of it. I wasn't eating. I wasn't really drinking. I stayed hydrated to take medication for, you know, because I was still healing from my C-section. But that was it. I was still in the process of trying to find a funeral home for my daughter. So my sister-in-law was helping me with that. And I ended up having another dream. But this dream was an awesome dream. And in the dream, my husband was holding our daughter that passed. And he was like, "Tell mommy you love her. Tell mommy you love her." And she's like, "I love you, mommy." And her eyes were still closed, so I couldn't see her eyes. But she told me she loved me. And then she left. And I woke up bawling. And I told my husband about it. And of course, we both get emotional. And I feel like that was like the best dream ever, because I got to, well, not only see her, I got to talk to her. We got to tell each other we love each other. And I knew she was in heaven. And that dream I will never forget. And she just seemed like happy. And obviously she wasn't in pain, so that's always a blessing for parents that lose children, regardless of how old they are, or if they had time with them or not. And I told my pastor, who always comes to, whenever I have kids, he's the one who I told you guys about, who comes and prays over the baby and prays for us before we go in to have our C-section. So he knew I was pregnant, and he was prepared to pray over her once she was born. But then when I told him what happened, he was so sad. So when she finally was sent to the funeral home, he went to the funeral home. I told him he was coming, and he prayed over her. And his message to me made my life. He was like, you know, when I prayed over her, I got this like feeling that she was so thankful that you were her mom and that you carried her. And he like had this overwhelming feeling. And so that obviously brought me joy. And I'm going to stop here because I'm already at 5 minutes. and there's even more stuff to tell. I know it's so many parts to this pregnancy, and some that even my sister-in-law reminded me of that was really jacked up. So I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for your patience.